You know, it's crazy to think about it, but as of yesterday, we are now at the halfway point of 2026. I feel like the year just started, and yet here we are now at the halfway point of 2026. And I had a bunch of our viewers write in and say, hey, give us your rundown of the best films of the year so far. So I thought that would be a good idea. We were going to do it yesterday, guys, but another thing came in and we just got too full to do it. So I thought we would touch on it right now. And I'm going to say this. I don't think it's been a particularly strong first half of the year. There have been a few very strong movies, but you know, there wasn't as much. Like I didn't have a hard time putting the list together. You know what I mean? I think the second half of 2026 is going to be much more interesting, which we will talk about in a few minutes. We'll talk about the second half of 2026 in a bit here. So I am now, it is my privilege and honor now to present to you what I find to be the best 5 movies of 2026 so far. And here they are. Now, first of all, one I want to mention that I'm not going to put on the list because I got to see it, but it's not out yet, so it doesn't really count. But so I'm going to give a little asterisk here to Forgotten Island. You guys know I talked about this movie the other day. I think it's the best animated film of the year. And I say this as somebody who loved Toy Story. I can't wait for it to come out and for you guys to see it, but I'm not going to put it on the list right now because technically it doesn't count. All right. So I'm going to start my number 5. My number 5, and this may surprise you, but I think I like this movie more than most people did. Send Help. The Sam Raimi film, with good Canadian girl Rachel McAdams in there. I could not believe, guys, how entertained I was. It was a great mix of horrific stuff, hilarious stuff, office level cringy stuff. And I thought the performances were great. I thought it was an incredibly satisfying ending. I just loved it. To me, it was just a big ball of entertainment. So I had a really good time watching Send Help. So I put it in at my number 5 spot. In my number 4 spot, I just mentioned the movie Toy Story 5. Somehow, some way, they keep finding a way to make Toy Story irreplaceable and to make Toy Story meaningful and to make Toy Story make you laugh and make you think. And like a lot of the audience that I saw Toy Story 5 with, make you cry. It was just a wonderful entry, truly a worthy, I don't think it's the best of the Toy Story movies, but truly a worthy entry into the Toy Story franchise. So for me, at number 4, I've got Toy Story 5. In my number 3 spot, I just finally watched it. Obsession. Listen, when you've got a really talented storyteller, you don't need to have much other than a couple of actors and a room and a camera to tell a story that just rivets you the whole way through. Now, I don't think it's a perfect film. I have some issues with the ending. I have a couple little nitpicks here and there. But what this guy was able to do with what I think is one of the best screenplays of the year so far, a masterful touch already with how to use the camera to tell the story, a couple of magnificent performances. I ended up really loving this film. So Obsession for me comes in my number 3 spot. Now we get on to my number 2. And some of you already guys know what my top 2 is going to be, but The Sheep Detectives. I had absolutely no interest in this movie. None. I remember they showed us a preview for it last year at CinemaCon, like not this April, but like last year. They showed us a preview for it at CinemaCon. I'm like, why is Hugh Jackman in this? And then they even showed us stuff for it this year. And they came out this year and said, guys, this is our favorite movie that we've made. And I'm like, it looks It looks innocent enough, and I'm sure it's going to be
Right.
cute.
Like, fine, it'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be cute, I'm sure. Yeah, but come on. And I only went to go see it because Anne really wanted to see it. And within 5 minutes, I fell in love with it.
Yep.
And it is just truly one of the most special films of the year. And I still, to this day, cannot believe how good this movie is. I really can't. So I am shocked. January John right now is shocked to tell you that Sheep Detectives is my number 2 favorite film of the year so far. And to nobody's surprise, Project Hail Mary to me is still the class of 2026. I was enamored with it when I saw the first previews. Rob talked me into getting the audiobook, fell in love with the story even more, went to watch the movie. It is by far my wife's favorite. My wife has played it like 10 times already since it's like, we went to go see it in theaters about 5 times and has, then bought it immediately and watched it like 10 more times since we got it. Just the performances, how they made this little freaking rock puppet one of the best characters of the year, is still a mystery to me. So that's it for me, guys. My top 5 of the first half of 2026, which I still think was a little slim pickings. Again, I don't think it was a particularly super strong first half of the year, but we did get some treasures out of it, like Send Help at number 5, Toy Story 5 in the number 4 spot, Obsession in number 3, The Sheep Detectives in the 2nd spot, and for me, the best film of the year so far is still Project Hail Mary. So, Rob, that is my list of the top 5 of the year so far. What say thee? What are your top 5 so far?
I have a tie at number 5. Number 5 is The Christophers, which is Steven Soderbergh's new movie, and an Israeli film called Yes, that is a scathing political satire that just destroys modern Israel in the wake of October 7th. And then The Christophers stars Ian McKellen in a defining role, and it's all about art. And it has two incredible performances in it that are just riveting. I had no real interest. I went to it because it's Soderbergh, and I was absolutely delighted. At number 4, 28 years later, The Bone Temple, or as I like to call it, the most metal movie ever made. I
thought it was a big improvement over the last one.
Yeah, I wasn't so keen on the first one. I enjoyed it, but you need that movie for the setup. But The Bone Temple, I mean, everything I wanted out of, it's the Return of the King of 28 Days Later, the 28th series. I just couldn't believe it. And Ralph Fiennes, man, again, I would give him he's not going to win an Oscar for this, but he should. And I absolutely loved it. I just love this movie. Can't get enough. Nia DaCosta, she came back roaring after a Hedda and after the Marvels and delivered something that was truly memorable. Number 3 for me is Project Hail Mary, a movie, John, you know how much I was looking forward to this. I have to say, I hoped it would reach the heights of The Martian for me, especially the extended version of The Martian. Didn't quite get there. It didn't provide as much emotional wallop as I wanted, but still tremendous. I loved it. In the number 2 position, The Death of Robin Hood. I was blown away by The Death of Robin Hood.
We never really talked about that, so I didn't know.
I slipped in to see it. It didn't hit home for me, so I wouldn't have guessed that it kind of checked the boxes for you. What worked for you in that?
It was the whole mood. You know what? One of my favorite bands growing up was a 4AD band. It's called Dead Can Dance, and it's the band that Lisa Gerrard, who did the Gladiator soundtrack with Hans Zimmer, she sings on it. It was her band, a lot of medieval instruments. I love that band. Watching The Death of Robin Hood, I felt like I was listening to a Dead Can Dance album. And Hugh Jackman's performance, the cinematography, it was from the director of Pig. I was just totally entranced by this movie. I mean, it took me to a different place. And I was riveted. Look, it's obviously not for everybody, you know, and it doesn't provide the entertainment thrills of Toy Story or something like that. You really have to pay attention. But Hugh Jackman, a career best performance, absolutely incredible. And the camera close on his face and just the countryside and everything about it. And Jodie Comer, oh my God, she was so good in the movie.
She
And
always is.
Oh yeah. And at my number one position, again, if you told me, John, in 2025, you know, dude, your two favorite movies halfway through 2026 are going to star Hugh Jackman. The Sheep Detectives is my number one with the bullet, because, you know, I'm a big fan of what I would like to call whimsy, but it's really hard to give me the whimsy that I love. The Star Wars of whimsy for me is Amelie. That's Amelie is one of my favorite films of all time, but that is a very hard balance. But when I saw The Sheep Detectives, it is a film that is whimsical, but it works as a movie. And I could not believe how emotional it was all the way to the final frame of the movie. And it was a film that I was completely enchanted by, not expecting. I mean, we had seen at 2 CinemaCons. We had seen stuff about this movie. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is this movie? What is it? And going in there and seeing that film and the way it was done, and, you know, it was directed by an animator, a guy who co-directed, I think, I want to say the Minions movies for Illumination. And I think only somebody with the soul of an animator could have directed Sheep Detectives.
And who wrote it? Who wrote it?
Oh, it was written by Craig Mazin.
Craig Mazin. Yeah.
Based on a novel, and that script was laying around for like a decade. Mm-hmm. And I thought the direction of it, the performances, everything, the visual effects, it was perfection. And I wasn't prepared. And I know it's kind of a list of it's an eclectic list, but all of these movies, the movie Yes was just a complete knockout, and what a savage satire. And on the other side, The Christophers was such a sublime film. It's basically two people in a room talking, and it is amazing. And the acting, Ian McKellen is incredible, and both of them are incredible.
Jonathan, you got a favorite one or two films of the year so far this year?
Yeah, Project Hail Mary ranks really. I didn't think to rank, you know, but Project Hail Mary ranks really high. And I would also like to add to the list, one that stood out for me was Baz Luhrmann's epic, the Elvis Presley live in concert documentary.
I never did watch it
because it was a quasi documentary. It was also the way he interwove it was just really good, and it stood out to me so far in the past 6 months.
All right, guys. Question is for you. What are your 5 favorite films of the first half of 2026? Again, I thought it was a little bit slim, the first half. I am looking to the second half a lot differently, but what were your 5 favorites? Give us your list by jumping down into the comment section below and leaving your list there.